Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Marcia Shields. She is the Chief Development Officer of Heartland Family Service. Marcia, first of all, it's so good to see you, and thank you for joining me today.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. And it's nice to see you.
Yeah, well, we've got just a really great quick conversation here about Heartland Family Service. And let's just first talk about Heartland Family Service, the mission, and the people you serve.
Oh, absolutely. Our mission is to strengthen individuals and families in our communities through advocacy, education, counseling, and support services. So that's a lot. And we serve some of the poorest of the poor in areas of counseling and prevention and homeless services and child and family well-being. So we have some of the most vulnerable clients that we serve.
And I know too, I mean, how long Heartland Family Service been around for? How many years?
Oh my gosh. Well, we started in 1875. So in 2025, we will be celebrating 150 years.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk a little bit about end of year giving, and then also we're going to touch on a really awesome event you have coming up in February. So end of year giving, how can people support you and help?
Well, certainly, we've sent out our annual campaign, direct response. It can go on our website because this is very important. The need, especially year-end giving, and the amount of clients that we served last year was over 140,000. So the need is ever growing, and there's different ways they can send in a check, go on PayPal, go on our website. There's so many ways that they can donate for the services that we provide.
Yeah, and again, I know your website is a great resource because you do. I mean, the services. I mean, we could probably spend an hour talking about the services and programs and all that good stuff. So, but let's just dive in because Carnival Love coming up February 18th.
Yes.
Honestly, I love this event. It's so much fun.
It is.
And it's not to be missed. So tell us about the Carnival of Love.
No, and we're going to be back in person.
Yeah.
So it's terrific. I mean, people are just excited to be back in person. It's Carnival of Love is our largest fundraiser. It's casual dress, and this year's theme is the Carnival's back in town. And so we're back in person. We raise funds, and this event supports all of the programs that we offer. So it is not only fun, but a very critical event for us to continue to fund the programs that we offer in the community and have fun at the same time. It is done with us in concert with our Friends Guild. So it's a wonderful partnership that Heartland has, HFS Friends Guild, and we do that as a partner to put this fabulous event on, which we want everyone to attend.
Well, and I'll tell you, I've been to it many times, and it was probably like the last one was 2020, probably February 2020.
That's correct.
Yeah, before, I mean, it was one of the last probably fundraising events. I mean, there are just a couple in that month before everything just completely shut down. But the event itself, I've been to it many times, and you are at a carnival, and there's carnival games and carnival prizes, and there's carnival activities, and
yes. I mean, we have different games, and every year we try to change them, but we have a wine toss, which is very popular. We'll have some other kind of carnival related games this, in February. And it's just an opportunity. We have, the traditional silent auction, live auction, because it's important. And we have some really great packages that will be available, and just have a festive environment where people can learn about Heartland. Yeah. And Dave Wingert will be our
I love Dave.
I know.
Love Dave. Yeah.
He's a personal friend of mine as well. So we're just, excited to be back and in person, and to really offer the community fun as well as something really important to support.
Yeah, and we're ready for it. And also, again, Heartland Family Service, a wonderful organization. We've got about 30 seconds. So how can we get tickets? Where do we go? Again, the website?
Yep. Go online to, just Heartland Family Service, and it'll take you straight to our website, and then navigate the event page, and all the event information is right there.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And again, an important organization serving so many families and people in need that I don't know what we do without you. So
thank you. And hopefully someday we'll work ourselves out of a job.
Yeah.
To be able
what? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be terrific.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you for your kind words, and it's great to be here with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to see you on February 18th, and I hope to see all you folks watching this on February 18th as well. And also just remember Heartland Family Service in your end of year giving. So thank you. And we'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm so happy to be here with Wendy Goldberg. She is the executive director and co-founder of the TriFaith Initiative. Wendy, it's so great to see you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Well, let's talk about the mission of the organization briefly, and then how people can give back over the end of year giving and the holiday season that's upon us.
So thank you for having me. The TriFaith Initiative is a bold experiment in the middle of Omaha, in the middle of the Heartland. And our intention is to remind people that something as audacious as the co-location of a church, a mosque, a synagogue, and an interfaith center is possible. And it's possible in our neighborhoods and in our lives. And that we want to remind people during this season that we want to live in a pluralistic society, that we want to know who our neighbors are. And we want, I grew up thinking that the golden rule was the standard and that we needed to treat people how we wanted to be treated. But we've really shifted that. Now we call it the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is to treat other people how they want to be treated. What does that mean? And some of it during this season of giving is giving with our hearts, to open ourselves, to appreciate that we are all walking through this life. We've been through some really dark times and we need each other. We need to be in relationship. And right in this moment, the ideals of truth and trust are harming our democracy, and they're not creating a space for everyone to bring their full selves to our places of worship, to places where we work, to places where we play. And we want to remind people during the season that if faith is core to your identity and Christmas is your season, we want you to have a beautiful season. But we also want to remind you that in an annual calendar, other people celebrate different holidays, and that be compassionate about that. Be warm and ask people if they're okay. How are they doing? That's what we want people to do during this season, to show up for each other, to care.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about that, because I love, TriFaith really is TriFaith. There's lots of faiths. And, a lot of times we look at the season as Christmas, but there's also Hanukkah, and like you said, also throughout the year. I'm not as educated as you are. I apologize, but there are ways that this is a giving season, and there are all faiths and there are all ways to give back. So do you have are there some activities happening over the next 6 weeks that people
the most important thing in the next 6 weeks for us is our annual appeal. The work that we're doing right now to help people appreciate that there is freedom of thought and belief, that we live in a pluralistic society, that we want to celebrate religious diversity. In this moment, the reality is the majority of people get Christmas off and are able to spend time with the people that they love and in the way that they want to honor. And we want to open that container a little bit to remind people that there are people in America for whom this is not their most sacred day. And that for some people, religion and religious traditions have been hurtful or harmful for them. We want, that that doesn't take away from the beauty of Christmas if we extend the conversation to think about a whole year of holidays. I want people to be able to decorate their cubicle however they want. I want people to invite each other over to each other's homes and to hear stories. There's a chaplain recently that told me, if someone's story makes you uncomfortable, or if someone makes you uncomfortable, perhaps you don't know their story. And isn't this season a beautiful opportunity? I encourage people to get curious. If someone says to you, I don't celebrate Christmas, ask questions. We all want to get to know each other a little bit. And that's what's going to create an atmosphere for us all to feel belonging, and Omaha to be a place that we can show up for each other in.
Yeah. I like that. The season of curiosity.
Yeah.
Asking others questions. And well, I could talk to you for hours, but again, just wanting to have this conversation looking at the end of the year. And I look forward to more conversations in 2023. But Wendy, I know people can go to the website and just find out so much information about the TriFaith Initiative. So can you give us that website real quick?
Sure. It's trifaith.org. We would love your support. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And thank you. And again, I'll look forward to talking with you more in 2023.
Perfect.
And happy holidays.
Thank you. And to you.
And folks, we will be right back. Well, welcome back, my friends. I'm so happy to be here, joyful to be here with Dr. Carol Patrick. She's the Chief Philanthropy Officer for the Visiting Nurses Association. Carol, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Andy. Appreciate
and we're going to thank your doggies in the background that we can see as well. You got to love them. Okay, so we're here. So you've got an event, so to speak, stay ho home for the holidays. So what does that mean? Tell us about that.
Right. As we're doing year-end fundraising, Andy, it's important to us to emphasize home, because home is what our organization is all about, serving people within their homes. And so my thought is, as other folks are really enjoying home for the holidays and being surrounded by family and friends and great food, be mindful of those within our community who are vulnerable and who are marginalized and who need our help to receive that care within their own homes. Yeah,
absolutely. Because I mean, those people, they can't, oftentimes they can't leave their homes. And that's one of the services, the VNA provides. And I'll have you talk about your mission and who you serve. Just personally, you cared for my father here in Omaha, and also for my mother briefly in Estes Park. But let's talk about the mission and who you serve.
Right. So Visiting Nurse Association provides healthcare, education, supportive services to our community's most marginalized individuals and families. We take great pride in the fact that those who are uninsured and under-resourced but deserve access to compassionate healthcare can receive that from VNA. And I really think one of the most unique aspects of what we offer within the community to these vulnerable individuals is we serve them literally wherever they call home. So we are in every homeless shelter and every domestic violence shelter in both Omaha and Council Bluffs, right? And that's a temporary home for people, but we are there at their most vulnerable moments. We are there for older adults in our community who have probably been in their home for decades, right? It may be the only adult home that they have had, and they want the opportunity to stay there, but they might need some help to remain independent. So we're there for them. The other end of the spectrum, teen parents who, we get calls from high school counselors and principals for pregnant teens within the community. And so we go into their homes with their families and we help them through pregnancy and all the way until their kids start school, to have children who are ready, and also to know, how to raise that baby, how to read to a baby, just all sorts of great educational aspects that come with that.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned all that, because I don't know if I knew that. So, and this is somebody who knows very much who you are and what you do, again, from having elderly parents, but having those two aspects of the homeless and also teenagers and whatnot. I mean, you've really kind of run the gamut of so many different services.
I think so too. And again, going back to that theme of home, what's really intriguing to me is that every home tells a story.
Yeah.
Right? When you enter a home, every one of our different homes tells a story. And there are things that our nurses and our social workers can discover in that aspect of home that will not be seen in a hospital or would not be seen in a doctor's office, right? You might see food insecurity when you go into a home. You might see mental health issues that would not be otherwise observed. You might see medication issues, somebody taking too much or too little or having no access to medications. You might see signs of abuse or relationship issues. And so I think to that holistic piece of folks allowing us to enter their homes and then being able to provide for them. And there's also that sense of security. When you're at home, you can have your pets with you, you've got your favorite chair and your blanket and whatever it is that brings comfort to you, that also is different than being in a hospital setting or something like that. And if we can help you stay at home, that's what we want to do.
And that's what contributions to the VNA can do, not just during the holiday season, all year round, but we're specifically talking to the holiday season right now. So website where people can find out more and donate and give back.
Yeah, so very, very easy, vnatoday.org/donate.
Okay.
We also have a Venmo account. You can go at VNA Today on Venmo. That makes it really super easy too. Yeah. But as you're enjoying your holiday, as you're enjoying that home and that aspect of family, think about those within our community who want that, need that also in their lives, and you can help to provide it. And we're so grateful for that.
All right, Carol, thank you so much for joining me today. And folks, check out the VNA, a wonderful organization, and happy holidays to all of you. Thank you again, Carol.
Thank you, Andy.
Well, hello, my friends. I'm so excited to be here with Erin Burke. She is the Event and Partnership Manager for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Erin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, let's just first, I think everybody knows Big Brothers Big Sisters, been around for so many years doing important work in the community, but just give us like a quick snippet of the mission and who you serve.
Big Brothers Big Sisters creates and supports one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. We have two different programs. Our community-based mentoring program is the one most people have probably heard of. We match youth age 7 to 14 with a mentor in our community. They do different activities together, learn and grow from each other. Then we have a new program called Mentor You, and that is for high school students who are matched with community members, and that mentoring takes place both online and in person.
Well, I will first say I know a lot of bigs. A lot of my friends are bigs, and that's, I think now, especially kind of what's happened over the last few years, having that online component too is a great alternative and opportunity for everybody. everybody involved.
Absolutely. It takes a little bit different or less time commitment, and really allows for a little more flexibility for both the students, our youth, and the mentors.
Yeah, and still making a big impact. So
Absolutely.
well, we're about, 4 to 5 weeks out from the end of the year, and people are wanting to kind of look at, all right, season of giving, how can we give back? How can we contribute to an organization? So yeah, so tell us about what we can do just in the final weeks of 2022.
The final weeks of 2022, we could always use more support to help build these relationships, these mentoring relationships. You can go to our website, mentoromaha.org, and make a donation, and that money goes back to our organization, specifically our youth in our community, our matches in our community. So it stays to support individuals that you may know.
Yeah. And also what I do want to talk about, because I mean, like all nonprofits, it's a 24/7, 365 day, a year that you're needing help. And a lot of people may be looking at, hey, in 2023, I want to be a mentor. I want to get involved. And so tell us just a little bit about that, because that could be maybe your end of year commitment or New Year's resolution.
Being a mentor would be the greatest gift. We currently have 49 littles on our waiting list.
Wow.
So those are littles who want to participate, have chosen to participate, and they're just waiting for the right person to be their big. More than 80% of those youth are boys waiting for a big brother or a big couple to be their mentor. So we would love to have anyone who's interested in learning more about being a mentor come to our website, mentoromaha.org, and learn more. We're also looking for more mentors for our Mentor You program. We're looking for females in particular to be matched up with high school students.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that. I actually might personally look into that.
Yes.
And also, I'm glad you mentioned couples too, because I think that's not something that we think about, have thought about, or I haven't, but people think about that you can mentor, like you said, especially maybe a young boy, a young male, having that couple influence as well. So that's really great to know.
Absolutely. Couples in committed relationships are a great example for youth in our communities.
Okay. Well, again, we've got maybe 30 seconds left, but what a great organization. Any final words except telling people to check out and put mentor on your list for 2023?
Mentoring's on our wish list. We hope it's on yours. So mentoromaha.org, you can go to our website to find out more about our mentoring programs, how to be a big, if you know a little who would be interested, how they could get involved, and of course, make a donation to Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands.
All right, Erin, thank you again so much for joining me today, and wishing you a happy holidays, and everybody watching this, Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Thank you so much.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Chris Mahaffey. He is the CEO and Scout Executive for the Mid-America Council of the Boy Scouts of America. I don't know why I have to keep looking at my notes, but there's a lot in there. And Chris, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today.
Andy, thanks as always for having me. It's always a pleasure to visit with you.
Well, first, I have to mention, you've got the giving tree in the background. And let's just start off with that, because we're talking about how people can support and contribute to the organization in the last, 6 to 4 weeks of this year. So I'll let you start off with that.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. This is our giving tree. It's here in the lobby of the Durham Scout Center at 124th and Maple. And on it are all of these tags, along with a lot of scouting activity type merchandise. We've got some scouts that are in need, whether it's uniform or socks or pants or a hat or sleeping bag, those type of things. They're all on these tags here on the tree. So if we have folks from the community that would like to support a scout and come in and buy the item in our scout shop, they can pull tag off the tree, purchase the item, and we will make sure that item gets to that scout and their family.
So what if people can't actually come into the location? Is there a way for them to do this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They can do it online, and we've shared the link with you so that you can share that with your viewers. They can make a donation online towards the giving tree, and December 10th is the last day that we're going to have the giving tree up, so we can make sure that we have all the items pulled and ready to give to scouts and their families for the holiday season.
Wonderful. All right, let's also talk about, I'm going to ask you, explain to us what the campership program is and what it supports.
So a week worth of camp is worth a year worth of program. So sending a kid to camp is vitally important to what we're doing in the Boy Scouts of America. So by having a program such as the campership program, it's a camp scholarship. So maybe at $375, not every family can afford to send their child to camp for a week. But because of the generosity of folks in our community, if they wanted to contribute $375, they can do that. If they want to do half. Typically, our scholarships are half because Baden Powell, who started the scouting movement, believed that every scout should pay their own way, should pay a portion of their own way.
Sure.
So we work with families to do that with selling popcorn and through other fundraisers. But a typical scholarship is half. So there's another way online that people can donate, which we've shared with you, and they can send a kid to camp. And the great thing is when a kid gets to camp, they get a postcard. And we ask the scout who got a scholarship, just write a quick note to the person that made camp possible for you. And that's written at camp, and we put postage on it, and we put the address on it, and we mail it to the donor. So they know that their dollars went to send a young person to camp.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And again, like you said, it's so important, the donation piece, but also having the person involved just to be out there, like you said, selling popcorn and having part of that come from the family, but also the donation piece. It just makes everything possible, and also kind of instills that, working and giving back from the family's end as well. So
correct.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? We've got maybe 30 seconds. Anything else you want to tell us before I let you go?
We're very grateful for each and every one of our donors here that support scouting throughout our 58 counties. We've mentioned Big Gives Day already on the 12th. There's still time to get in on that.
Yes.
These are really important initiatives as well. So we look forward to support from our scouting family and friends here in the metro area.
All right, Chris, thank you again, and encourage you all to visit the website. And, this is the season of giving. It's 24/7, 365, but end of year, we just look for your support.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Andy.